Imagine sitting in a crowded restaurant on an ordinary evening, the sound of clinking glasses and laughter filling the air. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts, the door bursts open, and 5 men storm inside with one target in mind. A well-dressed man at the corner table, a millionaire CEO whose face is often splashed across news headlines. No one expects what happens next. But what no one knew, until that night, was that a single dad sitting quietly 2 tables away carried a past, a hidden skill that would change everything. Before we dive into this unforgettable story, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because stories like these remind us of the strength inside ordinary people, and you won't want to miss the lessons hidden within. His name was Daniel. He looked like any other tired father, dressed simply, with his teenage daughter sitting across from him. Their dinner wasn't fancy, a couple of burgers and fries. To anyone watching, he was just another man trying to make his daughter smile after a long day. What they couldn't see was the weight on his shoulders. He had lost his wife years ago, and ever since, he had carried the role of both mother and father. Life hadn't been easy, balancing long shifts at a mechanic's shop, bills piling high, and the gnawing fear of not giving his daughter the future she deserved. But under the quiet demeanor and weary eyes, Daniel carried something else. Years of military training as a combat veteran, a side of himself he had buried deep to build a normal life for his little girl. That night, though, fate refused to let him stay hidden. The 5 men moved fast. They weren't petty thieves. Their movements were sharp, calculated, more like mercenaries than criminals. Within seconds, one had the CEO pinned against the wall while another pulled a weapon, demanding something only the victim seemed to understand. The restaurant froze. Mothers clutched their children. Waiters ducked behind tables. The air was thick with fear. And right there in the middle of it all, Daniel's daughter grabbed his hand under the table. He felt the tremble in her touch, the silent plea for safety. In that instant, something inside Daniel awakened. He hadn't wanted to be a soldier again. He hadn't wanted to step into violence. But when he looked into his daughter's eyes, he knew, if he did nothing, this night would scar her forever. He leaned in close, whispered, "Stay down. Don't move no matter what," and gently let go of her hand. What happened next looked almost unreal. Daniel moved with precision, like muscle memory taking over. He approached casually, almost like a man going to the restroom, until he was close enough. Then, swift, silent, explosive. With a single motion, he disarmed the man holding the weapon, flipping it onto the floor and sending the attacker crashing into a table. Gasps filled the room. Before the others could react, Daniel struck again, dodging a knife, countering with a move that sent the blade spinning across the floor. He used the environment, chairs, plates, even spilled drinks, to block, confuse, and disable. One by one, the 5 attackers went down, until the last man, battered and desperate, tried to grab Daniel's daughter as a shield. That was his mistake. Daniel's eyes locked on the man, cold and unyielding. "Not my kid," he growled. In a blur, he closed the distance and with a precise maneuver, freed his daughter and pinned the attacker until police sirens wailed outside. When it was over, the restaurant erupted in relief. People applauded, cried, and rushed to thank him. But Daniel wasn't looking for gratitude. He went back to his table, sat down across from his daughter, and whispered, "You okay, sweetheart?" She nodded, tears in her eyes, and hugged him tighter than ever. Before, the millionaire CEO, shaken but alive, approached their table. He introduced himself, voice unsteady, and told Daniel he owed him his life. Daniel just shook his head and said, "I didn't do it for you. I did it for her." That answer struck everyone who heard it. In the days that followed, news of the incident spread everywhere. Daniel's face appeared on TV screens, hailed as a hero. But behind the spotlight was a man who never sought fame, just a father who refused to let fear win. The CEO, true to his word, later offered Daniel a position as his personal security director, a chance at financial stability he never thought possible. But Daniel accepted with one condition: his daughter's future came first. The story leaves us with a message far greater than one night of heroism. It's about the hidden strength inside ordinary people, the sacrifices parents make for their children, and the reminder that courage isn't about fighting, it's about protecting what matters most.